10-4, welcome back. So I got an update. I know you guys, I was asking if I should pull it or get them to pull it at the local Thunderbolt. So I contacted the local Thunderbolt today. I talked to Mr. What's his name? Ricky? Was his name Ricky? Nope, his name was Robert. Shout out to Mr. Robert. Contacted Robert. I talked to Robert. I talked to him about what's the wait time, how long does it take, what's the turnaround rate, and a lot of more questions. So let's go about the wait time. So I talked to Robert. I said, hey, Robert, how you doing? Hey, what's up, Mark? Hey, first name basis. I already knew my name and everything. I said, hell yeah. I said, I called about that 79 Trans Am. Yes, sir, I remember. I said, okay, cool. I said, hey, that's a blessing. What's up? So then I started talking to him, and I said, hey, I want to ask more questions about the service, about pretty much how does it benefit me to go to you guys, right? So I did. I asked the questions that I thought were good, right, at the time. So my question was, how long does it take? He said, okay, just to rebuild the motor, it's going to take 2 weeks. They'll take 2 weeks. You could drop the motor off. They do it in 2 weeks. He said, if you want them to rebuild it and install it, that takes 8 weeks. Which is not bad either. It's 8 weeks, so that's cool. I said, all right, cool. I said, Mr. Robert, what about all the parts? As in the alternator, the starter, the power steering pump, alternator, water pump, spark plugs, distributor, the carburetor on top, all that good stuff. He says, look, what we do is we rebuild the motor, and he hasn't seen this car. He hasn't seen the car, so so his reply, we could just take it because he hasn't seen the car, right? But it's not about the car, about the motor. It's more about the motor on this whole thing. So I told him about all that stuff. I said, hey, what about all that? He says, look, what we do is we check everything that's already on the car, as in the alternator, the starter, the water pump, the distributor that's in the back, your spark plugs, and if they need to get changed out, we will recommend it to you, or you could let us change it out for you. So I said, okay, cool. So I'm a big enthusiast. I don't even know if I said that right, but I know a lot of parts departments. You know what I'm saying? When you get into these cars, you get to know a lot of places that deal with parts. So I said, okay, can I get all the parts and drop them off to you guys? He's like, no, sir. I'm sorry, we can't. We do not get any parts from the customer. He says, because our parts are backed up with the warranty. So that's cool, right? Can't blame him. So I said, okay, cool. So if we just talking realistically, will I be paying list price for parts, which is a little bit on top of the regular price? And he's like, yes, sir. Every part gets sold list price. I said, cool, no problem, right? It's a business. We're all in business. Come on. So then I'm like, okay, cool. I agree with it. I like it. It's the policy. I love the warranty and all that good stuff. So then I hung up, right? I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to start thinking, right, of what I could do, right? So I'm chopping it up with my boy, Manny. Shout out to Manny. So I said, Manny, what do you think? So me and Manny come with a plan. We're like, look, let's go get all the parts. Starter, power steering pump, water pump, alternator, distributor in the back making for the spark plugs. Let's install all the parts, right? Have it on the motor already, because Robert says they check out all the parts, and if they don't work, they recommend for us to change it out, and the motor rebuild. And then who else do I want to install the parts than the guys who rebuild the motors, right? The guys who got all the knowledge of doing this as a business. So I was like, hell yeah. So that's the plan we're going to go with. That's the route we're going to go with. I need to hit the local parts department, go pick up all these parts, right? Like I said, the alternator, the starter, the water pump. Do as much as I can right here. And these are all just bolt-on parts. Do all that before we get the car dropped off. Also, this fuel pump. I got to install the fuel pump just for my saying. So once the car comes back, or they can actually just put fuel in it and see if it cranks. Change the fuel pump on the block. The fuel pump on these cars are right on the block. I'm pretty sure that's true. Y'all double check me. Okay, so that's on that. But I wanted to also say, I hope you guys seen the video I did on the Trans Am. There are comments coming in. I love the comments. I like them all. I want to hear what you guys got to say about the car. I got some people that say, man, it's gone. It's done with. she's a dying bird, you know, or something like that. The fire chicken is gone. I'm like, hey, it is what it is. What I like to do is show you guys what we're working with. You know, I don't want to hide it or put makeup on it and make it look right. That's just what it looks like. I love the car. I really like the Trans Am. The Trans Am got a crap load of potential, but it depends on how far you want to go with it. Come on. But that's the plan. We're adding that onto the agenda. We already made the video. I got to scratch that off to our board. And I wanted to give you guys the update. Y'all drop some comments. What do y'all think? What do y'all think they're going to say when I drop it off with all the new parts on it? Are they going to be like, did this guy break the code? Are they going to be like, are they not going to care? I don't know. Y'all see what they say. Thank you. Shout out to everybody. It's colder now, so I love the cold weather. And sorry about my voice sounding all funny. Peace. Advance Auto Parts. I called Thunderbolt, and then I asked them, when they rebuild the motor, can I drop off all the parts to get them installed? They said no. Once the car is there, they put their parts onto the truck, and they could, how do you say, request or refer us, like recommend us to do it. So then I said, okay, so all the parts you recommend, can I drop them off? They're like, no, we got our own parts. Quote, which is right here, and we got warranty backing them up and all that good stuff, but we do check the parts that are already on the motor, and if they're good, we'll keep them. So then what did I think of?
We built all the parts.
Getting the parts from here and installing all of them before we drop the car off. That's funny, right? I was like, cool, then let's do that. So we're here at Advance, and we'll get a quote and see what we got. A little bit, not too much.
You're being smart without even talking.
Yes, for sure.
Asshole.
Very
Can I say
smart.
that on YouTube?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, you're an asshole. A good asshole.
Oh, we're trying. All right, it's a 1979 Pontiac Trans Am 6.6 400 engine. Well, it brings the whole rapid total to 645.
No, 645, but this is 698.
Well, with tax,
With that,
698. Come on. And imagine for the list.
put it on Peña's account.
Yeah, we're gonna put it on Peña's account. Peña get the discount.
Yeah.
Come on.